Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? Happy to be here with you today. I think there's a little bit of a delay, but I have gone live and hopefully you guys will see us. Hello Clem, hello Lisa, welcome. Hi Roxanne, I'm so glad that you made it on. If you have joined us and you are in here, just say hi and let me know where you're from. If you are a Stampin' Up lover of products by Stampin' Up, let me know what your favorite color is. I'm curious. I think it would be fun to do that and find out what everybody's favorite colors are, right? My favorite color at the moment is probably Lost Lagoon. I have been using it a lot and I can't stop using it. So I will pick that for my favorite color. Hi Donna, thanks for being here. So happy that you found my channel. Hey Deidre. Fantastic. So happy that you guys are here. As we're waiting for people to pop in, and hey Meleda. I think there's like ads playing and things like that. It's always fun with that, right? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for me. I would appreciate that. Let's talk about some housekeeping things and get that out of the way. Halloween projects, if you guys haven't begun to start working on your Halloween. I have the paper piecing patterns. They're out from this year's 28 days of projects. The ones that had paper piecing where I actually drew components are included in the patterns. So if you need those, you can get them on my website. If you go to inkyhandswarmhearts.com, at the top in the menu section, you're going to see a section that says PDF, project PDFs, and under there you can purchase the PDFs for this year's Halloween, last year's Halloween paper piecing, and my Easter paper piecing project. So you'll see these three available for purchase. Easter will be here before you know it, so you might as well get the PDFs and get started. All right, let's talk quickly about my membership group while we're waiting for more people to pop in. Hey, Cindy. Which blue is your favorite blue, Roxanne? Hey, Tina. Thanks for joining us. So I have a membership program that is a monthly membership, and you sign up. You can sign up for 1 month, or it's recurring. So if you were to join today, it would bill you on the 12th of every month. It's $7.99 a month, and you receive 2 exclusive private video tutorials in your inbox every week with the stamp set of the week or bundle of the week that I'm using. So this week, if you join today by midnight, you will get Friday's email. I send them out every Friday. And it will be 2 projects that I show a sneak peek of on my website, but you don't get to see the full project unless you join the membership. So I do a little bit more amped up projects for those projects. I appreciate everybody who joins, and we also have a Facebook group that I will be sending out invites to probably in the next week. If you have joined my membership group and you are not part of my email newsletter, make sure that you join that. That's how I send out the projects for my members of the Inky Hands crew. But you get 2 projects a week, so 8 a month. There's going to be 2 challenges, a sketch challenge and a color challenge that we'll be doing in our group. Plus I will have tips, other tutorials, other projects as bonus, and I'm going to do giveaways in the group. So if you want to join a community of stampers and have people that like to do what you like to do, I think you would enjoy the membership. Try it for 1 month. If it's not something that you enjoy, you can always cancel. $7.99, you can't even get a Starbucks for that. So I think that it's a good price point to give something a try and see if it's for you. All right. Oh, free shipping's over. Sorry. That was a tease that I didn't pull that. But we do have a join special. You can get 35% off or 35% more for the starter kit. So if you are somebody that likes to purchase stamping supplies, I would love to have you on my team. You do not have to do what I do. You don't have to do videos. You don't have to go live. It is the best deal out there. If you're gonna spend $65, you might as well join. You can get a 20% discount all the way through at least April, and that's if you never buy anything else, or if you only buy one more thing, it'll be at a discount. But yeah, so it's a really great offer. I'd love to talk more about it with you, or you can get 35% more products, so you could pay the $99, and I think it's like $160 something worth of products. So it is quite a fantastic opportunity, and I would love to have you on part of my team with me and doing a lot of fun things. All right, special release, it's still out there, the paper, and if you haven't started using it, there's some gorgeous prints. I'm using one of the special papers today on our project. So if you haven't purchased any of the special release paper that's in the online exclusives, you can get that in my online store. Go to inkyhandswarmhearts.com and click shop with me. Starting November 7th, we're going to have some new products, and I'm really excited about them. Probably closer to the date that it releases, I'll do at least a week of one of the projects, of one of the items from the online release, so you'll get to see that. Let's see. It's not this one anymore. It's Warm Wishes. So, Paper Pumpkin, it's going to be 8 boxes, 4 each, 2 designs. You get a Mossy Meadow stamp spot, iridescent glitter accents, linen thread, food safe bags, so that if you do gifts, food gifts at Christmas, you will have a way to package them, and they are going to coordinate with last month's kit, so you'll have cards to go with it as well. Let's see. Kits collection, let's show you the Rustic Christmas Countdown, which I think is fantastic. I got mine in the mail. I can't wait to start working on it. I'll probably work on it pretty soon so that I can get my Advent going. I love to do Advent calendars. I think they're fun, and I think you will enjoy them as well. There's 2 other Christmas kits, Christmas Everywhere, which are cards, and a tag kit. So you have a variety, tags, cards, and Advent calendar for the holiday season. We are using this week Autumn Leaves bundle. It is in this mini catalog, and I am going to show you. Let me get all my paperwork out of the way. All right. So here is the mini catalog. We are going to be doing Autumn Leaves today, and this is the bundle. So you're going to get this fantastic stamp set right here and the dies that go with it. I've been using this set all week. I do an entire week of projects with a bundle or a stamp set, and so this is the one for the week. It has distressed tile embossing folders, some really cool embellishments, some oxidized specialty paper, and a really awesome pack of DSP that's a 6x6 pack. It's actually on back order right now, but I think it's coming in on the 23rd, the week of the 23rd or so, so it's not too much longer, and you can get that paper as well. But I did want to show this project and these products because they're fantastic. Clem, you tell them why they need to sign up. Yes, you get to pre-order early, you get the discounts. The fantastic thing about being a demo is that you get to get discounts on top of the discount. So if Stampin' Up! Does 20% off all stamp sets, we get our discount on top of the 20% off price. So it's fabulous. This is the project I'm going to be doing with you guys today. This is my Apple Cider Treat Pouch, and I'm using the Autumn Leaves set. So this is the paper that I was talking about that is part of the online special release, and I'm using that today. It's a foil, tartan foil is the name of it, and I love it. I'm using the Lost Lagoon color. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make this fun project. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? All right, we're gonna start with a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and this piece is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. And of course, you know, the first thing that always comes out is my scoreboard, okay? So down the long side, the 8 1/4 inch side, we're gonna score at 3 7/8, which is 7 tick marks past the 3, so it's not as complicated as it seems. So 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then at 7 3/4 of an inch. And then on the short side, we are going to score at 1/2 of an inch all the way down. All right, so 3 7/8, 7 3/4, and then 1/2 of an inch rotated clockwise, 1/4 turn. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Hey, John, thanks for joining us. All right, so let's go ahead and burnish these score marks, and then we're going to do a little embossing. All right. All right, so I'm going to do our small seam on the bottom, which is that one we did on the short side. And then we have the first score mark and the second one, which gives us another small area. I'm actually going to cut away this little square that forms where these two pieces meet, but I'm going to angle cut right here so that there's no bulk in that corner, okay? This one here, I'm also going to angle cut. So we're going to get rid of that corner, and then we're going to angle cut here as well, and here as well. But this one I'm going to keep straight, okay? So that's what it looks like once you've done your cutting. So far, you guys are with me? All right. The next step, we're going to use the basic border dies. Do you guys have that? Who has the basic border dies? This is one of those basic shapes that I recommend that everybody have. They're fantastic. We're going to be using this one right here. And we are going to go ahead and put this like it's going to be put together, and we are going to go ahead and cut out this shape off the top of our packet, okay? So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So let's bring that in. I'm going to open that up. We need our platform number 1, our number 2, which is kind of a shim whenever you're cutting with metal plates. This is my well-loved bottom plate. See how much I die cut. We're going to put our piece inside here, and we are going to tape this down at the top. I'm going to use Post-it tape to hold it in place. So I'm just going to grab some Post-it flags. All right. And this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use probably 2 of them to hold that in place. All right. I like using these little Post-it flags because you can use them over and over again. And then we're going to put our number 3 plate on top. And because we're going through 2 thicknesses on the long part, and where that seam is that I've tucked underneath, we're going to have a 3rd thickness. I'm going to go back and forth a few times just to make sure that it cuts all the way through. Just a couple times. I just want to make sure, because especially that one thickness where there's 3 layers. All right, so I just cranked it a few times back and forth. Now we're going to pull these guys off. And I will reuse those. So let's just slowly pull them off. All right, and see how it cut that piece off right there? So now I have this little scalloped edge from this border die. So if you didn't think you needed these border dies, I'm here to tell you you need them. They're fantastic. I use them often. I'll be sad if they disappear. I hope they'll replace them with something else. All right, we're gonna do a little bit more with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to emboss this top layer. We are going to use the Distressed Tile embossing folder. So it's the Distressed Tile 3D embossing folder. So we're gonna use this one. So I'm gonna open it, and I'm gonna open up my piece. And only thing I want to do is the front, okay? So I'm just going to put it in here, and I'm going to use the scored edge as my side. All right, and then I'm going to bring this down and close it over the top. All right, that's what it looks like. I'm trying to get the whole thing in camera. And I'm just going to run it through my machine. Now, when we use a 3D folder, you need to remove number 2 and number 3, okay? So you need number 1. Then you need your little sandwich. And then you need number 4, which is the gray one. So we're going to crank that through, and we're going to do some embossing on just the front. I'm going to slide it back to this side. I like this side better. Okay, I just dropped the plate. Always nice to have some sound effects. So see that gorgeous folder? Isn't that beautiful? All right. And this piece doesn't matter. All right. So let's move everything out of the way. And I'll pick up plate number 4, which I dropped on the floor. Sometimes I'm a mess. All right. Back to our project. All right. So this one that we've done our distressing, I'm going to cut this piece away. We only need this angled one right here, so we're just going to cut along that score line. And I could have done it prior, I just forgot to do it, so you can do it ahead of time. So you want a straight piece. The one that's straight is going to be the one you emboss. And then you have the other pieces here, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and glue it together. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat because I'm messy. You want to take this tab and this tab, and those are the ones that are going to be inside. This one overlaps on top of the side one. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue here and hold that in place for a second till it grabs. because I want this to be one unit when I glue it. So I'm just going to hold that for a second right there. I love those basic border dies. Deidre, you got to get them because when they decide to get rid of them, you'll wish you had them. So that's like a staple in my craft room. Any shapes, that's what I buy first. I know I want all these stamp sets and all these die sets and all the beautiful ribbon and papers, but whenever a new catalog comes out, I always go to the dies and I say, okay, which ones am I going to use over and over and over again? And those are the ones that I purchase. Actually, yes, I am from New York. I was born in New York and I was raised in New Jersey. We moved when I was 3, but my father always had businesses in New York, so I was in New York all the time. We lived about 12 miles from New York City in New Jersey. So I always look at the dies and I say, okay, I know I'm going to use these shapes a lot. That's the first thing that I buy. And then I decide, okay, what do I need to make a card for? And then that's when I buy the pretty things. That's how I go about. That's my strategy. All right, so now that I've attached those two pieces together, see how they're attached in the corner? We're going to go ahead and put adhesive on that L right there. And we're going to go ahead and close our folder. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive along this whole piece. All right. And let's go ahead and close it. And I love, love, love this embossing folder. So I'm going to turn it to the back, the smooth side, because it won't get indented. And I'm just going to run my bone folder gently along the two sides to help bond that layer together. Okay, so here is our basic little pouch. Exactly, Deidre, that's the way to do it. I have the accent only on certain words, though. I've never really had like a strong New York accent except on words like coffee and dog and ball and mall. I don't know how else to say it. That's just how we say it, right? All right, so that little pouch is what we have formed. And so I went to Aldi's and got these little Alpine spiced apple ciders, and they should have them now this time of year. So you're gonna slide one in here. You can also use this for hot cocoa, but I think cider is perfect for fall, right? So see how that slips really nicely in there, and there's room at the top where you don't have to worry about when you're die cutting your basic borders. I made it big enough that you didn't have to like really be so careful how far up or down you moved it. You could put it pretty much wherever and it would fit these. So these are the ones at Aldi. So hopefully you guys have an Aldi near you. All right, so now comes our belly banding, okay? And most people, when they belly band things, they put the belly band on the front and they work their way to the back. I do it the opposite. I put my seam in the front. And the reason that I do that is I want, when people flip my project over, to see a smooth back. I don't want there to be a seam back there. I want there to be a flawless, and I want them to go, how did she do that? So this is my trick. So for those of you who don't do this, let me explain why I do that. So when I roll my piece to the front and I glue it together, so I have to find the straight, okay? I'm gonna glue this together up here. I'm gonna have a seam right there in the front. Hopefully you guys can see it when I bring it up to the camera. See that seam? But no one is going to see it in the front because that's where I'm going to decorate it. So know when you put it to the front, people look at your project and they're like, how did she do that? Well, it's all hiding underneath all my decoration in the front, that seam, and no one sees it. So if you're going to decorate the right side, make sure that your belly band, your seam is on the right. If you're going to decorate the left, make sure that when you wrap that your seam ends up on that side. Mine is in the middle. My largest piece is in the middle, which is that large maple leaf right there. So that's going to cover my seam. And that's how I do my belly bands, okay? So let's go ahead and put a little adhesive. So I'm going to do a thin line on this side, and I'm not actually going to glue it to the distress tile part. I'm just going to glue the band around itself, and then I'm going to put a line of adhesive on that side. So a thin line here and on this part, so that way when they go past each other, the glue will be in the right place, okay? And I'm just going to hold it in place for a second and just make sure that it's even. That's the number one. Okay. I'm just going to hold it for a second and make sure that it's even. All right, where is my, here it is. And then I do remove any extra glue that might seep out. I always check because I'm generous with my adhesive. Okay, so now we're going to do some decorating, all right? And I've already stamped and die cut because I didn't think you guys wanted to sit here and watch me, but watch what happens. I put my maple leaf on here. Where's the seam? It's disappeared. And now no one knows where it started or ended, and there's no seam in the back. Okay. Now we're also going to take, this one's in cherry cobbler, this one's in pecan pie, and this one is in Lost Lagoon. I'll show you the stamp set. So there's 3 major leaves, and then with the dies you have the die cuts that cut the major ones out. So I used the stamp ones today. I used a lot of the small die cuts for my projects this week, but I wanted to use the large this time. So we're going to attach, this one's going to be attached here, but not yet. So I'm going to lay it where it's going to go, and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive back here because I'm going to tuck this leaf underneath my pecan leaf, okay? So I'm going to figure out where it's going to live, how I want to move it around or place it or do, or if I want to pull it out a little more, whatever. So you're going to find where you want it, and then you're going to glue it down, okay? Now this one's ready, except I'm going to go ahead and attach my sentiment label where it's going to go next. I like to form like the whole piece and then I glue it all down, okay? So this sentiment label is going to be attached right there. So I'm going to hold my fingers where I can put the glue. And I'm good here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add my glue to my leaf right there, okay? Next comes my Lost Lagoon leaves, and I'm going to put a little bit here and a little bit here, and I'm going to tuck them in where they are going to live, I think like that. All right, so now I have my whole piece, and I'm happy with what it looks like. So I'm going to flip it over, and now come the dimensionals. It sounds like a band, doesn't it, when you say that? Featuring the dimensionals. All right, so I'm going to grab my dimensionals, and those of you who know me know that it's not going to be just a couple of them. It's going to be a bunch. I'm good with that. I like using dimensionals, and I like there to be plenty of them on my projects so that when they go through the mail, I know that they're going to get to my person exactly how I want. Now, if it's something that you're just handing to somebody, it's different. But And even then, you still want your projects to look good, right? So I don't know. I like using dimensionals, but you have to do you. If you don't like using them, don't. If I give you agita, I'm sorry. It's not intentional. Okay, let me put a couple more. One, I think we're good now. Maybe one more. Every time I think I'm good, I see another spot. Okay. Stop the insanity! When I use the dots and spots die, oh my goodness, you should see how many dimensionals I use on that thing. Alright, so I'm gonna just start pulling the backs off, and the key is that you make sure that you hold where you're pulling with your take your pick tool. How many of you take your dimensionals off, the backs off with your take your pick tool? Let me know, I'm curious. Thanks, Sherry. Sherry came to see me all the way from Tennessee, and I got to meet her. That was really fun. She came to my class that I have locally and everything. We had the best time, her and her mom. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and attach this whole unit on top, and I'm going to make sure that my label is straight. That's the most important part, okay? So if my label isn't straight, then I'm not going to be happy. So that's what I'm paying attention to, is that my label is straight, and then I'm going to give it a little press. All right. We're working our way through. We're doing a good job, guys. All right, I think I've lost, oh, there it is. All right, so I already stamped the words "to have you as a friend," and I cut those out just with scissors, and I angle cut the ends, okay? So I just wanted to show you that. That's already been done. This is crumb cake cardstock with pecan pie ink. And then on a scrap of basic white, I stamped the I'm thankful. So in this stamp set, you get 3 scripted sentiments and then 3 typed sentiments. One says "for all you do," one says "today and every day," and then "to have you as a friend." So I wanted "I'm thankful to have you as a friend," so you can pair them, like with a grateful heart, today and every day. So they're nice. Those sentiments are nice to pair together. So the first thing I'm going to do is this one's going to get glued here. So let's just get that part done and out of the way. I love the take your pick tool. If I use my fingers to remove the dimensional backs, I have them all over my craft room floor, and I can't handle that. The static on them, they get stuck to everything, and so I use the take your pick tool, and then they end up in the trash can. All right, so I'm gonna put this to the right bottom of this label right here. So there is "to have you as a friend." Very happy with that there. All right, let's fussy cut. So I fussy cut around the "I'm thankful" on my original, so let's go for it. So I'm gonna fussy cut around. I don't mind fussy cutting, so this was like a no-brainer for me to fussy cut. Before I had my carpal tunnel surgery, I was even fussy cutting with numb fingers. So I'm hardcore fussy cut. But for those of you who don't like to fussy cut, I have to tell you, unless it's because of arthritis or pain or something, the reason you don't like to fussy cut is because you never fussy cut. So fussy cutting, you hate it because you don't do it enough. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So A scan and cut though, you would not just stamp one I'm thankful and then use it. It would take way too long to pull it out every time or to go over to it every time. I'd just rather sit here and fussy cut it. And for me, like if I have a lot of things to fussy cut, I don't mind sitting in front of the TV. It's very relaxing to me to do so. And so I do not mind the time that it takes. Now, if I have a ton of things, like I'm talking hundreds, that's different. But, you know, 10 or 20 or whatever, I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. All right, let's go in here and finish our eye. And see, that didn't take any time at all. In the time that I got up and went to another thing, I'd rather just cut it. All right. Here is the I'm thankful, and we're gonna put dimensionals on the backs of that. So I'm going to use minis. The bigs are too big, and I'm going to use the edges of the minis for the other parts. So let's start with the minis and put them where I can get them to fit. So we'll put one here and one there, and then the rest are going to be edges. All right. So along that skinny edge, I use the sides or the edging with a scissor here, and I'm just going to trim maybe 3 of those and pull those off. Now, this does not allow me, I have a hard time pulling the backs off of these guys with the take your pick tool. It's a little harder, so I definitely use the my fingers for the skinny pieces like that, but I still just leave them on my desk and then pierce them with the tool to put them in the trash. But I have a hard time pulling those off. There we go. So let's grab the take your pick tool for the final 2 minis, and then see how I pick these guys up off my desk with the tip. It's just my thing. It's okay if you don't do it. I won't judge you. All right, so we're going to take our I'm thankful and we're going to place it right over here. Actually, I'm going to cut a little bit more off because I see a spot that's going to bother me if I don't trim it. I went a little too wide up here, so I'm going to narrow it a little. All right, now I'm better. So we're going to add this right here. I'm thankful. There we go. I'm thankful to have you as a friend. Okay, time for our bow. So let's move our dimensionals out of the way and we'll do our bow. So I did notice that I use my Baker's Twine Essentials Pack a ton, but I hardly use the crumb cake. I don't know why. I use all the other colors. They're almost gone except for this one. So I've been making it a habit to use it the last few projects because I think I give my linen thread a little too much love. All right, so let me explain to you how I do these bows. So it's a 3 loop. You can do more, but I'm going to do 3. So I'm going to take the 3 middle fingers. I'm going to use my thumb to hold, and I just kind of lift my pinky out like I'm drinking tea in England. So I'm going to leave a little overhang, and I'm going to hold that with my thumb, okay? And then I'm going to use these 3 fingers, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And when I get across the other side after the 3rd, I'm going to trim at some point over here, okay? So I don't know how many inches it is. It depends on how big your fingers are. If you have smaller fingers than me, you can use your 4th one, or you can just open your fingers a little bit when you're doing it. So I'm going to slip this off of my fingers, okay? And I'm going to try not to twist because Baker's Twine, when it twists, it does crazy things. So I'm just going to pull it off and cinch it in the middle, okay? And the loop that I have here that I used to wrap around, I got it through the middle there, I didn't mean to, okay. So that loop there, I'm gonna use that to tie. So I'm gonna wrap it around from the front of my bow, what's staring at me, to the back, and see I'm creating a loop when I do that. So I'm gonna tuck the end through that loop when it comes around, and then I'm gonna pull, and that's gonna be my first knot, and then I'm gonna do a second knot. So see when I pull that, I'm not gonna pull it hard until I have it right in the middle. And then I'm going to kind of yank it a little bit tighter. Then I'm going to take my other string or tail, that whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to use that one to tie a second knot. So I'm just going to do them like you would tie a shoelace and pull right there. So that's my second knot. Now that secures it completely. And then all you're going to do is fluff out your 3 loops on each side. And that's how you get your fun little bow, okay? We're going to use a mini glue dot to adhere it. Thanks, Maleda. The more I do with this, the more you want the set. Well, you're more than welcome to order it from me. I would be very grateful if you did. It's a fantastic set, and I think it works. I love the dies that go with it. It's been a really fun autumn stamp set. Okay, so I'm gonna attach my mini glue dot there, and I'm gonna keep it attached to the point right here, and that's gonna help me get it onto my project. And I'm kind of putting it in the corner right there where that little divot is on my piece. So we're gonna put it right there. I'm gonna hold the top knot and pull. Hey Eileen, I didn't know you had joined us. Thanks for joining. Yeah, this set is fantastic. And this is the beautiful distressed embossing folder. So you can see how simple this project is to make. It's definitely a project that you can do in bulk. You do all your cutting and scoring, then you do all of your borders on the top, all your embossing, all your stamping. You kind of do it in phases, right? When you do things in bulk, and then you do all your assembly together. So I'm proud of myself for using that crumb cake. It's getting less and less, and pretty soon it'll be the same as the other ones, and then I can retire this when I finish them. All right. I didn't think that it needed any dots, but you're more than welcome to add embellishment dots if you want to this project. I think that it holds its own, and for fall, I think, I don't know, fall's more rustic. I don't use as many embellishments for fall time as I do, like, let's say at Christmas. But if you wanted to add a few dots, you could to this project. So I think this is a great little treat pouch with the apple cider inside. I think it turned out pretty fantastic. If you haven't purchased the Autumn Leaves bundle, I would appreciate if you purchased it from me. Also, the Distressed Tile Embossing folder, I feel, is a fantastic addition to this bundle. So if you don't own this, get that folder because it takes your projects to the next level. And of course I use the border dies. So those are the ones. Let's review this week. So we did the I'm Thankful card on Sunday. And I used the All About Autumn paper, which should be back in stock. I think I heard the week of the 23rd. But a lot of times they've been coming in earlier. And then on Tuesday I did these treat bags for you, which use the mini leaves in the die set. And I use linen thread for these bows on this particular one, but I used 3 or 4 different ribbons. And these are little treat bags. So if you didn't learn how to make these, you can catch the replay. This was from Tuesday. And then, of course, I did 2 projects for my membership people, which you guys are going to love them. tomorrow is the day that you will get those in your email. So if you want to join my membership group, give it a chance for 1 month and see how you like it. You'll get 8 projects for $8, and you'll get to participate in the sketch challenge and color challenge. We haven't started that yet for the month of October, so you'll still get in on those. So I recommend that you try it out. Less than a cup of Starbucks, right? Less than a Starbucks Frappuccino or a cold brew pumpkin latte or whatever you want to get from there. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, Tina. Thanks, Eileen. Yes, I agree, Sharon. That's exactly why I don't put a lot of glitz and bling on my fall projects. I think the distressed look of fall is perfect. And I think that that's why this embossing folder has become like my new favorite. All right, anybody have any questions for me? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you joined in late. I would appreciate that so much. If you would share my video, I would be forever grateful. And I'd love to add a few of you to my membership if you are able. If Joyce is watching, I need you to sign up for my newsletter, Joyce. I know you joined the membership, but I don't have you on my newsletter, and I have reached out via email and haven't heard back. So please join the newsletter there so I can get you set up for the membership. All right, guys, I think that's it. Thank you, Clem, for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you back here soon. Until I have another video, which will be Sunday morning. You guys have over 500 videos on my channels to watch. Give some of my older videos some love. You can always use new products, even though you don't have the stamp sets. Use similar products. And you can always change my projects from one holiday to another. So check out some of my older videos. I'd appreciate it. And thanks for being here. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!